Oh, hello guys, and welcome to 2.3. Okay, so on 2.3, um, it's a lot of basic stuff. We're just doing basic operations, combining like terms. So on number one, we have 3x minus 9x. Well, that's going to simplify and give us negative 6x plus 30. All right, and then we have 15 minus 4. That's going to be 11 minus 2x. You could have also written it to negative 2x plus 11. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to uh, move the 6x over here by adding. Because when you move across the equal sign, you have to change the sign. So that's going to be 30 equals uh, 6x plus 11. I'm going to move this over by subtraction. And so that's going to be it's going to be 19 equals 6x. And then you divide. And so my answer here is going to be x equals 19 over 6. Okay. Um, 2 is one of my favorite things to do. I mentioned before that I'd rather work with fractions than decimals, but if I don't have to work with either one, that would be my preference. And this is an example where I can just get rid of them. Out of the gate, I'm going to multiply everything by what would have been my common denominator. Now, you can pause the video to figure it out for yourself, but uh, 5 and 2 don't go into each other. 2 and 6 go into each other, but 5 and 6 don't go into each other. So you have to multiply it by 30. Okay, so 5 goes into 30 6 times. All right, so let me 5 goes into 36 times. 6 times x is 6x. 2 goes into 30 15 times. 15 times 1 is 15. And then 6 goes into 35 times. 5 times x is 5x. Now I have a clean problem with no fractions. And I'm going to move this over. It was positive. I'm going to make it negative. Okay, so it's going to be negative 15 equals negative x. And so x equals 15. X equals 15. Easy. Okay, if you see a problem like number 3 in your homework, it works very much the same way as it has before. Yes, 3x and 7x is 10, minus 6 is 4, equals 24. Okay, and so real quickly, you're going to find that x is 6. Now, it may say, hey, check your solution. All right, so if it does that, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the answer they gave you, you got algebraically, and you're going to plug your answer back in and see if the algebra checks out. So in this case, we got 4 times 6 equals 24. Well, you should know already that that's going to work out. But 24 equals 24. Yes, this works. And so it is a solution. Now, later on in algebra, you are introduced to this topic called extraneous solutions. And this is kind of what you do. The algebra gives you either one or multiple answers, and you take every answer it gives you algebraically, you plug it back in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And the ones that don't work, even after the algebra says it should, the ones you plug back in, it doesn't work. Those are called extraneous solutions. But your homework is going to ask you for 2.3 to check your solutions. So that's what they're talking about. Plug it back in, it doesn't work. Right? Number 4. All right, you get 2x minus 9x. This is going to be negative 7x plus 11 equals 3x plus 31. I'll move the 7x over here to keep things positive. This is going to be 11 equals 10x plus 31. I'm going to move the 31 over here. So minus 31. So 11 minus 31 is going to be negative 20. Okay, so that's going to be negative 20 equals 10x. Okay, and so x equals negative 2. Okay, just like that. Now on 5, you can approach this one of two ways. You can go ahead and multiply through and then solve for x. Or if you notice, 7 goes into 49. So if I just divide straight up, because right now it's 7 times that parentheses, and you undo multiplication with division, right? Well, you can just go ahead and divide, and now you got x plus 5 equals 7. That's about as easy as it gets. I'm going to move the 5 over here by subtraction, and x equals 2. So there you go. 6, you don't have a choice. You have to multiply. So let's do that. We have 15 minus 3x equals 8x plus 4. And then you clean it up. I'll move the 3x over here by addition. So that's going to be 15 equals 11x plus 4. I'll move the 4 over, minus 4. So you have 11x, or excuse me, 11 equals 11x. So x equals 1. Okay, 30. Again, just multiply. So you got negative, this is going to be negative 72 plus 3y plus 3y minus 6. All right, so I'm going to combine like terms over here. So it's going to be 30 equals, this is going to be negative 78 plus 6y. All right, I'm going to move the 78 over here by adding. It's going to be 108 equals 6y. And so when you divide, make sure I did that right. 2, that's right. So 108 divided by 6. Okay. That is y equals 18. There you go. There you go. All right. Number 8. Again, I can get rid of these fractions real quick. Just multiply everything by 7. I don't have a common denominator that I need to find. It's just the one denominator, so it's 7. 7 goes into 7 one time, so it's going to be x, and then 7 times 2 is 14, and then 7 times 9 is negative 63. We'll move the 14 over. Addition, x equals 70. So that's 37. It's negative 63 plus 14 is negative 49. Okay. Now, this one, you could get rid of all of them, and it's not going to be 7, even though it's really close. You just multiply by 14. 2 goes into 14 7 times. That's going to be 7y. Right? 7 goes in 14 twice. So it's going to, 2 times 5 is 10. 7 goes in 14. It's going to be 2y. And that's going to be minus 10. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here by subtraction. Minus 2y. It's 5y equals, or 5y plus 10 equals negative 10. Okay, so I'm going to do that. That's going to be 10. And I'll move that over here by subtraction. All right, so that's going to be 5y equals negative 20. Y equals negative 4. Okay. All right. Similarly, I can get rid of decimals if I choose to. So like here, everything is one decimal place. So all I need to do is multiply by 10 and then it gets rid of it. Down here, you have 2 decimal places, no decimal places, and 2 decimal places. You want to multiply by the power 10. It's going to give you, it's going to get rid of all your decimals, even if it makes your numbers a little large. All right, we're okay with that. So let's see, we got 30. I multiply by 10 here. That's going to be 35x equals 27x plus 72. Okay, I'm going to move this over by subtraction. 35 minus 27 is 8x. 8x equals 72. X equals 9. Okay. All right. Number 11. Again, because it's 2 decimal places. Remember, the decimal places behind the decimal are tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, so on and so forth. And each one you're adding a 0. So I'm either going to multiply by 10, I'm going to multiply 100, 1,000, 10,000, so on and so forth. Because I have 2 decimal places here, I'm multiplying this entire thing by 100. All right, it's going to make this 91y plus 300 equals 100y minus 6. All right, don't fret. We have calculators for a reason. All right, let's handle big numbers. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here, minus 91y. So it's going to be 300 equals 9y minus 6. I'm going to add the 6 to the other side. So that's going to give you 306 equals 9y. And so y equals 34. 34. Now, pay close attention to 12. On 12, this one, I don't have to do anything over here, but I do need to distribute on the right side. So it's going to be 4x plus 16. Okay, now if I get rid of the 4x, or I move the 4x, you'll notice that it falls out. And so now I'm left with negative 8 equals positive 16, right? You have to ask yourself, is that true? Does negative 8 equal 16? Well, no, it doesn't. So the answer for this is going to be no solution, which can be written spelled out, or you can do 0th line through it, like so. That's how you do that. Once again, on 13, you can multiply to get rid of your fractions. And I would multiply here by 15. Okay, so 5 goes in 15 3 times. 3 times x is 3x. 15 times 2 is 30. 3 goes in 15 5 times, and that's going to be 5 times x. We'll move the 3 over here by subtraction. We got negative 30 equals 2x. And so x equals negative 15. Now, there's a second part to this problem, and that is I'm supposed to evaluate this thing. So I'm supposed to evaluate x squared minus x. And what that means is the first part is to solve. First part is to solve this for x, whatever, find x, and then plug it back in. So you take negative 15, you plug it in, you square it minus negative 15. Minus negative 15. You crunch those numbers, you'll find that that's positive 240. And that is your answer here. Okay. Now, 2 questions left. 14. This is one of those ones that we have to take the sentence and rewrite it in algebraic form. All right, so this is 1/3 a number. What number? Anytime you see a number or a product of a number or sum of a number or something like that, we're talking about some variable. In this case, we're going to use x. So this is 1/3. We have 1/3 number is added to, so plus 1/7 of 1/7 of a number. So plus 1/7 of a number, same number, x. And the sum is 20. So all this equals 20. What is that number? Well, again, we can simply multiply to get rid of our fractions. In this case, I multiply by 21. Right? 3 goes into that 7 times x, 7x. And then that's going to be plus 3x for the same reason. 7 goes into 21 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3x. And then 20 times 21 is 420. Right, so that's going to give you 10x equals 420. So x equals 42. Okay, the hard part is the setup. Once you know the setup, you're good. Last problem. It says 15 speeding fines determined by this formula, where f is the cost in dollars, and the fine of the fine if a person is caught driving X miles per hour. So if they sometimes in these problems they're going to give you cost, ask you how fast they were going. Sometimes they're going to give you the speed and say how much is the fine. In this case, they're asking you to find how fast they were going because they give you the cost. So when they give you the cost, f is cost. So that's going to be 130 equals 5 times x minus 70 plus 55. So I'm going to unpack this one step at a time. First of all, I'm going to subtract this negative 55. I'm going to subtract the 55. And that's going to give me 75 equals 5 x minus 70. And you'll notice I didn't multiply this out yet. And that's because 5 goes into 75. 5 goes into any number that ends in 0 or 5. And if you may have noticed right away that that was going to happen. So I'm just going to divide this both by 5. Okay, and then it goes away over here. And so 75 divided by 5 is 17. Sorry, 15. That's going to be 15 equals x minus 70. And then you add the 70. You'll find that x is 85. Which means he was going 85 miles per hour. All right. That is 2.3, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, please come see me, talk to me, and I will see you in class.